stuff, so you should have been fairly well prepared.
Hi.
Yeah, sure.
But there's no way to learn other than.
Oh, yeah.
Call license held to order. Let's take 74, 75, 76, 77. Okay, just those.
Move
those
approval
four.
subject to.
Second.
We'll give Rhodes second.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and we have items 78. This is a powerful permit for St. Augustine's Parish. This is a motion for.
Move approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then we have 79, 80, 79 and 80.
Let me do that. Okay. Move approval.
Second.
All right, a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, then we have 81. This is the fourth application? Oh, for the 15-16 license, okay, I see. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, that's, okay. This, they have till 2:30 in the morning. Don't we have like 11 o'clock?
Yes.
No, the outdoor's only till 10, isn't it?
Food and tent, parking lot, and outdoor music until 10.
That's right by your house, isn't it, Mickey?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, it is.
Why would you
Well,
need to
it's
do
near.
It doesn't really matter.
You know, I just think, you know,
Mr. Chair?
hold on one.
Is it possible they're asking for the 2:30 that would allow them to do music inside? Is that what this is about? Do you know, Monica?
They don't need permit for that.
Well, they would if they don't have a live music license.
This would just be for the extension of
This
premises.
is just for
so
outside, yeah.
it's Standard practices for Saturday, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
And they're only asking,
I'd like to make an amendment to this and change that 2:30 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Is that a motion with?
Oh, yeah.
well, no motion was made yet, so we
Yeah,
can,
motion
we can
was-
make a motion as amended.
Okay.
Or, you know, because no motion was made to vote on this yet. Am I correct?
I can't do the
You
amendment
can,
first?
well, you can move to approve as amended if you want, or you can just move the amendment, whichever way
Okay.
you want.
What is the amendment?
To, instead of, limit it to 11 p.m. That would be my,
So his bar has to close at 11 p.m. then also?
no.
No, just
No,
see-
this is the outside part of it.
They
Which he
have-
did till 10.
No.
Outdoor music until 10.
Oh, okay, the whole event shuts down at 11 then.
The whole outdoor part of the event. Is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
it is,
right?
it's,
Conflicts.
yeah, do you have the actual application in front of you? I'm just, maybe just got something got mistranslated into the notes here for the,
Okay, no. No, it says 2 p.m. to, time of event, 2 p.m. to 2:30. Outdoor live band done before 10 and small tent. But do we have, but there's also a serving of alcohol outside, and it doesn't say anything about not having that.
yes.
So I
I
think
think
if-
to be consistent, what our longstanding policy is,
Everything at
that
10.
everything outside ends at 11 p.m. It's a Saturday night, is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
So I think we should change that, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, change this, so if you have the motion to change the from the 2:30 to 11, that only means, then make sure that they're done outside at 11, serving alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody understand?
Yes.
So you're gonna make the motion?
So a motion as amended, I move to approve as amended with the 11 p.m. cutoff.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? I'm not gonna this up, I'll let you. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we have, another, permit for Buzz's Nest at 60th and Mitchell. Let's see, let me just check the time. Oh, it says 11 to 8 PM. They have another permit, so do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Haas got the second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Then we have Kips Inn till 11.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we have 84,
Move approval.
84, 85,
No.
just
Yeah.
84 and 85.
Move approval on both.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 86. This is the license for Dr. Morgan's. 2100. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, that's by the railroad tracks.
Yeah, the
Right,
old.
what that used to be, sorry.
Forget the name
So,
of it.
Ron's Pub.
Ron's, the old Ron's
Yeah.
pub. Yeah, okay. Do I have a motion on this?
Move approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then we have
Whoa.
87. Can he go? Can Marty vote for his own license here? I know he can vote for his appointments in the council, but could he vote in favor of this, or does he have to vote for his own?
Well, he could. I think traditionally aldermen have
Yeah.
just voted
Right.
present for their own licenses.
I could do
just
that.
Okay.
I'm voting no.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking for a recommendation, yeah, that's the
there's that 20.
recommendation.
Okay.
No,
Okay, I'll second. I have a motion. Right, has second.
Second.
No, second by.
Okay.
Haas. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Is there one present?
Oh, I'm sorry, present.
Okay.
Habit.
Okay, now.
Where's Rosie?
Yeah, where's Rosie?
Oh,
Sally?
Sally's right behind that.
Sally's back there hiding. Wanna come up here, Sally? Now, these are ordinances in certain areas. Okay, what are the certain areas? Number 88 I'm reading here.
The highlighted area that was blue was the within 100 feet of the playgrounds. 4F, prohibition against, smoking within 100 feet of any playground, equipment, or recreational area owned by the city or the West Dallas, West Milwaukee School District. This was a request that, Rosalie had originally brought forward, and then the school district approached, Alderman Vitale about including it for the playground areas.
Okay, so you're saying you can't use it within 100 feet of a playground?
No smoking.
Where do you live across?
Smoking of electronic or smoking of smoking?
It's prohibited against smoking of any kind.
Both. The definition of smoking includes inhaling, exhaling, burning, and carrying any lighted, heated cigar, cigarette, all the tobacco products, and then electronic devices as well.
Okay, now, well, we already had it for that, for the cigarettes, right? What if you live across the
No,
street?
it used to
huh?
be that you couldn't do it on school or near where the school district had their things, but this is just school district and city property just near playgrounds. Is what is the proposal.
So if you live across the street from a playground, you can't smoke in your property?
If you're within 100 feet, right?
On your private property?
On your own
or in your
property,
private home?
In your own private home, right? If you're within 100 feet, I'm not sure that exists anywhere, but potentially that could be there, yeah.
There's a lot of places around schools and parks.
Yeah.
There's houses all the way around.
Well, it's playground equipment, not the park itself or the,
Is the baseball field equipment? Is home plate equipment?
it's playground equipment or recreational area owned by the city. I don't know how you're gonna define it. It's not defined at all.
Recreation skate
Yeah.
park?
Potentially.
Walking on a sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you playing hopscotch on the sidewalk? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
All in waggle.
Did I hear that the federal government's talking about some overarching ban on this kind of, on the vaping stuff anyways? That's,
They have instituted some additional rules on it. They're taking control of it. Most of them are targeting kid access. That they aren't going to be able to purchase the devices like they can now. There's some regulation about flavorings and doing warnings on it, and that they can no longer claim that it is a smoking cessation device.
oh, okay. And
But it doesn't add it into the Clean Air Act at all.
is this our ordinance modeled on something that someone else is doing already in the state, or are we out?
Yeah, Jenna looked at some of the other ordinances
Oh.
around, and that's where she came up
And
with.
are we likely to get any challenges from any individuals or groups? I think it's a little intrusive when it extends onto private property, you know, because it does potentially extend onto people's private homes, right?
Potentially,
Could,
yeah.
Yeah,
I believe Pat Walker was trying to figure out, looking on the GIS mapping, if it would ever crop up, and also in relation to the next one that's coming up for distance, but I don't think the intent was to, you know,
Right,
prevent.
No, we
somebody
understand
I know,
that,
but
yeah.
somebody could use it
The
against.
public space. I
Can we
think we're talking about, on the farmer's market property, putting in a coffee shop, and oftentimes the outside patio area of a restaurant is their designated smoking area. So I'm gonna guess already our no smoking rule would cover, you can't smoke at the farmer's, am I correct? You can't smoke at the farmer's market right now, cause it's city-owned property. But this would also extend the vaping ban to the
Right.
farmer's market also. So I don't know how big a part it might be of anybody's business plan at that particular location.
But once again, it's all right across from the farmer's market. Of course, it's at playgrounds.
Yeah, so I don't know, recreation area.
Or city-owned.
No, the amendment is just toward the playgrounds
Yeah.
and recreational
Oh,
areas, yeah, the other.
So would people be able to say vape out in Centennial Plaza out here, outside of City Hall? This doesn't apply to the Centennial Plaza.
No, this was targeting more for the areas
Okay.
with kids.
But there is a piece of recreational equipment out there, there's a little table, it's got a checkerboard built into the top of that. I don't know. Yeah, so this is really aiming this at protecting children.
Correct.
Can it be amended to say except for private
Shall not apply
property?
on private property.
Right, add one line, shall not apply to private property.
Because that's the only problem that I would have it to, you know.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair, I would amend the item to include the line shall not apply to private property.
Okay.
And
So, you got that, Monica?
Yes,
I'm not writing on here again, once again. You can do it.
And
Don't
I'll-
muck it up.
confirm
Right.
with the attorney's office on where that's going to be placed within the ordinance.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so I'd have moved for approval as amended then.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Don't talk at once.
John, you have the info here, are we ready?
Mr. Chairman, if we should decide to lease the space out at Farmers Market, could we exempt public property leased to a private entity? I'm not sure if the coffee shop's gonna want to allow smoking or not, I don't know, but this
Mr.
is just
Chair.
an option.
Sure. The way I read it, it's the farmer's market during the days of the market, and it doesn't just say farmer's market blanket. There's actually specific language already in the ordinance that gives exceptions, for use at the farmer's market, if I recall correctly. Do you have the RMC available? Not now.
But so that would mean if you were at that coffee shop on a Monday,
On a
and
market
Wednesday, and a Friday, you could smoke, but you can't smoke on
Saturday and a Thursday.
and a Tuesday. Yeah,
Try to enforce that.
yeah. Try to explain that to customers.
I would think we could cross that bridge if and when we get to it.
In the agreement, something in the agreement with them or in the lease agreement, cause if they're just gonna lease it, they're not buying that property, right?
We don't know.
We don't know. It's a 99-year lease. We might just as well sell them the property.
Sorry.
Well,
And we could, if
I
we
saw
run
eyebrows
into a
raised.
case where we need to change it, let's say we have some sort of other lease deal with somebody.
They
We
can
could-
always come back and ask.
This
you
isn't
to
clay
amend your
tablets
ordinance.
here. This
So
is
just
paper.
Go forward.
Yes.
You're adopting the prohibition, you can always undo it or make
Yeah,
an exception
yeah,
for that as
yeah,
well, if
yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
comes to.
yeah.
But right now, it'd be too much of a hypothetical to
Mhm.
try and tailor it
Guess
to
I'll
something,
take
we
that.
don't even know what the terms are.
okay, so I have a motion and a second to approve as amended. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have number 89. This is just for the sale of the devices. And once again, are we still at the 100 feet?
I don't think, it doesn't look like they attached the changes for your documents. Do you have the changes with you, Scott, for this one?
Yeah,
It has to do with the 1,500 feet.
right,
That's
this
on
is, this doesn't have anything to do with the 100 feet of the playgrounds or anything, this has to do with
Just the,
where they can establish and putting a distancing requirement between them and
oh,
that kind of stuff.
So they can't do within 15. They can't establish a business within 1,500 feet of a playground.
Of it, right,
Or park.
A vape sales business is what we're talking
right,
about.
yes.
Mr. Chairman, 1,500 feet sounds like a lot. I think, as I was talking earlier, sexual predators are 750, are they not?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what our distance is for that.
1,500 feet is an awful lot.
sure is.
And Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel?
is this, are we grandfathering places right now? I mean,
We have 6, right?
well, no, but it doesn't like picking, right now, we don't license any of these businesses, correct? So I'm thinking a gas station could sell this stuff, or Pick and Save might even sell this stuff, I'm not sure.
Right, there's numerous outlets that can sell it right
Yeah.
now,
And so anybody that's currently selling is grandfathered?
correct.
And how do we know who's grandfathered? We're gonna send a letter around to everybody, are you selling this stuff right now, so we can add you to the grandfather list?
It would be existing establishments,
Occupancy permits.
right, so existing, gas stations, grocery stores, we're not gonna go,
We're not physically gonna verify that anybody's, so if,
but we're not, it's specifically more for adding in the smoke shops, vape shops,
you know,
additional to what we already have.
but somebody could open a candy store and sell this stuff.
Technically,
But they would have to include
Good.
that with
As long as
their,
they're
But they would still
1,500
get
feet.
their
the-
business
Right.
plan.
Yeah.
right,
And going forward,
Which
they'd
we
have to,
approve.
now, I mean, Sal, you're saying that they'd be grandfathered.
that's what I had
There's no
asked
grandfather
Jenna.
provision in here, and you're talking about just the distancing, or you're talking about the licensing as well?
Well, that was my question to Jenna, and she just said it would all be grandfathered.
Because I don't know why we would grandfather in somebody, they should still get a license, just because they've been there doesn't, I mean, you know, we do this all the time. It used to be an unlicensed activity, now it is a licensed activity, and nothing prohibits us from doing that. But it would be unfair to say you've gotta move now, from your place, because you're within
Right.
1,500 feet of one of these prohibited things. So I think this probably still needs a bit of work, along those lines to,
Well, we have to
Put
set
in
a
a-
licensing fee.
Well,
and-
we don't license e-cigarettes now, do we?
No.
the shops that sell, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so I see what you're saying there, Marty, it's just, we don't have a clue where these things
Yeah,
are.
we don't know who's selling them.
Right.
We might have a couple shops that are called that, but
We know
every
where,
gas
yeah,
station.
we know where the smoke shops and vape shops are,
Yeah,
but
but every gas station probably, many gas
Could be
stations
Right.
probably do.
most of them do.
Most of them do, and probably some liquor stores carry that stuff.
Could we license them? Do we wanna license them?
Can you, yes, do
that's
you
where we're
want to,
going.
that's up to you guys to
Right, I
decide.
know. Well, it was kind of a question out there. You know, that way we would know where they are.
I think if we
But-
don't license them, how we were gonna restrict the distance rules?
The only problem though with license, if all of a sudden we start licensing, and now one of them's within 1,500 feet
Well,
of.
they'd be grandfathered, that's what we're saying.
As long as they can show that they were selling these prior to
For as long as they apply for a license
Okay.
now.
Prior to
So do we wanna hold this and maybe put that in there?
Yeah.
Or do we, well, no, this would be a separate ordinance to get a license, correct?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I think from the advice of the city attorney, I'd like to hold that,
And then,
figure out these issues.
while you've got that issue on the board, there's also the one that of the distance, 1,500, that left 12% of the commercial area, I think, Pat said, available. I'm not sure how he calculated it, again, without knowing where all these places are,
Mhm.
but, so, you know, if you wanna tinker with that number,
That
let
just
me know
seems to be
now.
a big restrictive number.
Can anyone tell us how
Mr.
far?
Chair. The existing is 1,500. I just looked it up in the RMC. 1,500 feet
For what?
for an offender to live.
Oh, I was
that's
wrong.
Okay.
I can move again.
Glad we got you on audio here.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far is 1,500 in blocks? 1,500.
There's
quarter
330
mile,
feet to a block, so about four to five.
Well, 30 feet to a house.
It's an approximate.
That's to a
Okay.
property line.
To a-
Well,
Yeah, right. Well,
you're
yeah.
talking our side of town, right?
Yeah, your side or?
Yeah.
Your side of town, it's a lot more.
All numbered blocks are 330 feet.
All what? No.
Numbered blocks are 330 feet, I believe. Or
Okay.
360.
And so those are the
Somewhere
short
there.
blocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the long ones I have.
And the long
So
ones.
5 blocks.
All right.
So everybody's happy keeping that in there, that distance?
Well, we're not affecting anybody that's existing. We're just gonna limit the, right, cause we're grandfathering existing
All
businesses.
the new ones.
It's just anybody coming in the future. And if there's gonna be some sort of federal regulation on this, I mean, we may be at the top of the bubble right now on vaping and, you know, they may get real restricted. So,
And
Right, they're not, the FDA is not restricting where, you know, the distance that between,
well, that wouldn't
you
be
know,
their
vape
job.
shops or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
no.
that wouldn't be their job.
and the main restrictions that the FDA is taking up is the access for kids, the flavoring, and then the unsubstantiated claims that are being made for,
They're not taking up the content of the liquid?
they are, but it's gonna be like 2 years out where, manufacturers have to submit what the ingredients are and come up with all of the standardized packaging and stuff.
Oh.
But they gave them 2 years to get it done.
But that wouldn't keep people from like making homebrew liquid and putting whatever in there, right?
Right.
okay, the other question is, license, do we want a license?
That's a good question.
Yes. So we know. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Definitely, we want to. It's our police power over health, safety, and welfare. Yeah, we absolutely want to, so we can have a handle of this situation, just like we've seen in our discussion here, where we look at, well, how many of these businesses do we have, and we kind of look around at each other, and we're not exactly sure.
Can we check, see how many other places do license?
Sure.
Yes, and everything, and come up with that. So,
And we
how's
have
everybody else, the consensus pretty much?
I'm not a fan of adding a license. I unless it's a statewide thing, I think we may be putting this, property owners in the city, commercial properties in the city at a disadvantage. I'm not a fan of generally more rules, because we're not gonna stop anybody from moving the shop, open the shop in Wautosa or Greenfield or New Berlin.
Just moving them out of our city.
Yeah. And we're not gonna stop anyone from vaping in our city. We're just gonna stop the money side of the transaction from happening in our city. Or restrict. So,
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd be in favor though of having laws that are consistent with our current tobacco laws. Need a license to sell
Well,
cigarettes.
I'm just saying, I don't want everybody to go through all this work and then have us voted down,
well,
You know?
I'm just one guy,
okay?
and I'm not very influential either.
I know the feeling. What do you think?
I'm fine with looking into it, the licensing aspect.
Wait.
No.
Okay,
So it's two of
so
us.
right now, we're just looking into it.
Yeah, I want to know what the implications of it, I guess, would be. Like, what does it look like, and is it a yearly thing? Is it every 2 years? Is it?
Why don't we find out
We'll do
who else
some
does
research.
license?
Yeah, who else does
And then we'll
And how
go
they
there.
do it? Yeah.
And how they do it,
Don't have Scott's office do anything until we find out about
I
it,
like that.
you know?
Well, there's still other stuff to do. Don't stop working on everything.
You know, on this, so, okay, we're gonna hold this,
Said
we're gonna
stop
look at
working.
that.
May I ask one more question on that?
Go ahead.
Enforcement of this, health department or police department?
That's a good question.
Something-
Police have been doing the compliance checks and enforcement to date.
So they probably go in and see, I mean, it wouldn't be part of the health department when they go around doing, annual business checks to see
I
if
mean, we
they're selling
monitor
it?
that kind of stuff, but
But you'd report
the
it to the police department
police
then?
department does go in periodically and do compliance checks and try and make, see if there's sales to minors and those kinds of things.
Okay.
Or selling illegal things, which was a case.
Okay, so, with that, if there's nothing else, move to adjourn to license and health.
So moved. All right. License and Health is adjourned, and I will call Administration and Finance to order.